Most important treasure of Ruby is the community, so that the Ruby is known by very friendly and eager community, so that we can help each other to become better programmer or provide value or become more productive. Bath Ruby conferences or meetups are the key to create. This is the treasure of Ruby.
Ruby is there for developer expressiveness and happiness and comfort, and every language that came up at the same time and has spawned since then has taken those ideals and made them their own. Ruby's been incredibly influential on the programming world.
It's really important to bring people together to celebrate Ruby because we're all off in different cities or different countries around the world, and it's just a good way to come together, share new ideas, and also remind ourselves that this Ruby community is still vibrant and it's going to hopefully survive for a very long time.
Ruby is the first programming language I fell in love with, and I feel like when I code in Ruby, unlike other language, I feel like I'm talking to a friend because it's so descriptive. You're just speaking to the computer, telling it what you want to do and how you want it to be done, and then it's done. So I really love it.
It is really nice to meet different people if you're working in the same language. As I said, it's a very open community, so you feel like you can go and speak to anybody at this conference, really. Even the speakers are very open to receiving comments or questions, and it's nice to be able to mingle with people who commit directly to the Ruby programming language.
Having that opportunity to even talk to them for a few minutes is pretty awesome. So I think it's just a really great way we do so much in the virtual space to actually have that in the meet space of physically shaking someone's hand and actually talking to them. And there's so much bonding that happens, I think, with going out to a bar or going to a coffee in person that you can't really get online.
I think it's great to have other people to talk about code with. For those of us, especially who don't live in San Francisco, where we're surrounded by other developers all the time, it's great to have an outlet where people are discussing code and where you can all watch talks together and kind of take things away from that.
I think Ruby has been able to just be able to keep attracting new people, which has been pretty exciting. So it's become a much more diverse and friendly space, I think, than when I first started 10 years ago.
Everyone talks about Matz being very nice, and it really, but it's true, right? These people are good people, and that's what made me think this is a good career path for me.
Ruby made programming much easier and more enjoyable, and then Ruby can tell the world the fun part of the programming is very valuable in the programming field.
I really enjoyed Endoh Yusuke's talk where he built Quines or Queens, programs that self-execute themselves. That was completely bonkers. It made me realize that A, I'm not very good at programming, and B, I've never done a creative thing in my life. I also would like to see Andy Nesbitt's talk, which is happening next, because he just has lots of data about millions and millions of programmers, and it's always very interesting to see him speak.
I'm really looking forward to hearing Andrew Nesbitt's talk at the end of the whole conference. He does a lot of research around how open source package repositories are being used, and he's got a lot of behind the scenes knowledge. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's pulled together.
So I think Ruby has had a massive impact, especially in the world of web development. Ruby enabled the development of Ruby on Rails, and Ruby on Rails just absolutely changed the face of web development. It made a massive impact on my career. It enabled me to build things that would otherwise take teams of people weeks and weeks, could be knocked up in a weekend. And that set the stage for all future web development and kind of encouraged people to work from that idea.
In Ruby, we're much more strict in sort of the culture and the ecosystem about testing and a level of professionalism in building software and safety and things like that. That is, I would argue, the envy of the rest of the overall programming communities.
I think it's helped the community be more diverse because of the way that it's written and the way that you interact with it. It's easy for a lot of people to learn it as their first language or for you to talk about it with non-technical people.
What we do is a very singular sort of enterprise. We spend a lot of time working only with computers, and when we engage with other people, when we see there are other people who have the same struggles, the same problems, and the same successes, it makes us appreciate them all the more. Our successes become greater and our difficulties become less. Ruby will continue to be a touchstone for developers for decades to come.
I think we're going to see a lot more ability for people to collaborate together and to enable increasing acceleration with the speed of development as we build on top of open source, and open source becomes a strong foundation, essentially infrastructure for the rest of the way that the world works. We'll be able to rely on that and then continue to build and improve on that. And it acts as a force multiplier for everything that we do in the world of software, which has become the whole world at this point.
I think that the human side of writing code, of communicating with other people, is really important in informing your life as a developer.
Actually, in 25 years, we don't see computer anymore, so that everything has computing ability, so that maybe we would talk to our, say, cups or lights or beds or anything. So but I still believe the importance of programming is still there for those kinds of the multitude of computers.